All right. So this is like the pregame show since I started it a couple minutes early, but we were talking just now. I was complimenting Stacy on her social media and how she has such a magnetic and dynamic Scentsy spirit that is contagious, and her energy is contagious and her positivity is contagious. And so, but what I wanted to say to you, Stacy, is I use this analogy often that social media is kind of like a dark auditorium, and you forget who you gave tickets to long time ago. And you never know who is standing in the back of the room in the dark that's just watching you, watching every move that you make, watching everything that you say, and is loving you. And it's the quiet ones that are always watching that you forget about. And so to use your platform in a positive way to impact as many people as possible for, forgetting who you gave tickets to is, especially as a woman, is a really, really powerful thing. And you have become really, and you have become a big influence in our community. I mean, you really have.
Crazy. It's crazy for me to hear you say that, because you're like an OG, like everybody, like we all look up to you.
Yeah, but so you know what, Stacey, you are too. You just celebrated a decade.
Yeah, it's actually in November. So I held my first Scentsy party like a week ago, 10 years a week ago. And then I ended up joining a couple weeks later. So yeah, almost 10 years.
So, I mean, you just called me an OG, but like, let's be real.
That's true.
But you know what? But you really have and I, please totally correct me if I'm wrong, but you've been doing this 10 years. And I said this to my leaders a little bit ago. You've been doing it 10 years, but at some point, Stacy, I feel like you woke up and you were like, I'm doing this damn thing. Like, I am good. I am a business owner. I can be a positive influence. Here's what I have to show. Here's who I am. I am my brand. And you know what? BALLS to the wall. And I am just going to do it. And I feel like the only person that could have driven that train was you. The only person that could have made that decision to be like, you know what, I'm taking this freight train full bore, because you've been in it 10 years.
Yeah. I was going to say a little bit about my story, because I did work my business like a side hustle for a really long time, and I got side hustle results. And Scentsy, throughout that accelerated leadership program, and it taught me that I could do hard things. And then I realized like I was capable and worthy of the success that the people that I looked up to had. And it really was just a decision. It was just one decision that I made, that I can do this. I'm going to do this. And then things changed for me.
How long ago would you say that you made that decision?
So I'm going to go ahead and start.
Well, I know that you give us one more minute, so maybe I won't ask you that yet, but
okay.
You're fun to watch. You're fun to watch, but not just watch. You're fun to be a part of. I mean, literally, I'm telling you, just know that I'm in your auditorium, because you pop up like first for me when I open up my Instagram, and so I'm always knowing what you're doing, and you have been a really good force for me, and I'm honored to have you on the call tonight. I really am.
I'm excited to be here with all of you. I love that analogy. I really do, because it so puts everything that I think about social media, like it put it into a perfect analogy, because it's so true. The amount of people that are watching you, but you don't see them because it's dark, you're on stage and you don't even realize it.
And you forget who you've added. You forget that you became friends with your accountant's wife 10 years ago, or, you forget, especially as your friend list grows, like, who you've added. And yeah, that's been the best way for me to kind of describe and train on like the impact of social media. When you think, sometimes we have that courage because we're behind a screen, we have that courage to say things that are, on our minds, sometimes forgetting that, you are a business owner, and you do have to you can be who you are. Nobody is telling you to not be who you are, but there is a way as a business owner to be yourself without being offensive to anybody else or putting anybody else off. And more than anything, nobody wants to follow somebody negative. Nobody. Nor does anybody want to do business with somebody that is, not friendly and or pretends to be something that they're not, or, any of those things. We are going to get started. And you know what? This was the perfect segue, because authenticity at its best. Stacy Barringer, we are so honored to have you tonight. Welcome to our Tuesday night group call. And I'm not going to take up any more time, and I'm going to let you talk. And
so first of all, I saw that your Zoom call, or is it Together We Sense? Okay, so my Instagram my handle is Together We Make Sense. I was like, what is this? And then I was like, oh, I realized it was a reoccurring meeting. So that's like your meeting name, I guess.
It is. Actually, that's my team name. Together We Sense.
That's crazy. Yeah. So I rebranded a couple, I guess it's probably been about 4 years ago now. And I did Together We Make Sense, because my husband, he's not, his face is not in the business, but he's very much a part of my training, and we brainstorm a lot. So I added him to my business name, and then that's where I came up with my Instagram handle and my branding and all of that. So that's awesome. It goes together really well. So, okay. So first of all, when Melissa asked, I asked her to come live for a training that I do with my group. And she was like, oh, that's funny that you asked me, because I was going to ask you as well. So I'm super honored to be here, mainly because you have an amazing leader already. So I feel so special to even be anywhere on the same wavelength as Melissa. She inspires me and has for so long in my business. Like when I was a baby consultant, actually Cancun, the first year I think that we ever went to Cancun, when we had the costume party, was the first time that I ever saw you. And then ever since then, I've just been following along with her. So I would say that social media is my strong point in my business. And I want to talk to you about social media a little bit tonight. And I feel like recently Instagram has become my jam, and I'm recruiting people I don't know off of Instagram, and my following is really growing on Instagram. So I wanted to talk to you about that. But first, I wanted to tell you a little bit about my story, because I feel like we were talking about before she started recording, that just how easy it is to compare yourself to somebody, especially somebody's now, and not really knowing where they came from, what they went through. And I know if you follow me, it looks like I have it all together. And you might think that like I always did, but I didn't. And I joined Scentsy in 2010, and I still don't. I still don't have it all together, I promise you. So I joined Scentsy in 2010. I had 3 kids at the time. Now I have 5. And so I joined after I had a Scentsy party, just for free and half off stuff. I didn't need to make any money. My husband owns a successful company, so I didn't need the money. I really just thought it was fun. I loved the products, and I thought, well, maybe a little me time. My business was super successful right out the gate. I have a really amazing family and support system. So I hit all of the beginning goals. I hit shooting star and sensational start level 3, and everything was really, really good in the beginning. And I was really excited about everything in the beginning. But just like with everything else, like the newness wore off very quickly with my business, and so did my sales and everything else. It all just kind of went downhill. My husband was not happy because I was spending more than I was making. And I just decided like, maybe this wasn't for me. Like I wasn't working it like a business. I wasn't taking it serious. Like maybe that I should just quit. So I sold everything that I had as a lot on Craigslist, which is like a yard sale page kind of, which I think that's probably out of compliance now that I think about it. But back then I didn't even know there was compliance. So I sold everything. And I hadn't terminated yet. And one of my frontline superstar director now, she texted me and said, "Hey girl, I just joined your team." And I was like, "Oh no, you didn't." I was like, "It's okay. I'm quitting, but you will roll up to the person above me, like, no worries." And she was like, "Okay, whatever, but I'm having a launch party. You should come." And I was like, "Okay." So I go to her launch party and I bought wax from her launch party. And like, as I was sitting in her living room, I had a come to Jesus moment. Like, I can still remember where I was sitting, where everybody was standing, the way it smelled, the way it, like the sounds, everything. Like, and all of a sudden it hit me. What am I doing? Like, I'm about to give up something that I love. Like, what is wrong with me? So I drove home and I got back on my workstation and I reordered my testers and my catalogs and all the things. And thank God that I did. So for after that though, nothing really changed in my business as far as like how much effort I was putting in or how consistent I was being. I still worked it when I felt like it, until 2016. The twins were 4 months old and my husband works a lot. So I was home by myself with twins a lot. And my business, I was still putting in about 2,000 PRV, but that's about all I was doing. I wasn't recruiting heavy or anything like that. And Scentsy did the accelerated leadership program, the very first one, and I decided I was going to do it. So I started it and I'm so competitive with myself that I could not let myself fail. I had to prove it to myself. And I felt like the homework was pretty intense. It was things that I wasn't used to doing in my business. It was 10 parties a month and I had to recruit 2 people a month. And that wasn't something I was doing all the time. So it really just taught me that I was capable of doing hard things. I was capable of setting big goals and crushing them. I graduated the accelerated leadership program. And like, honestly, since then, my business has exploded and I'm doing so much more than I was even doing when accelerated leadership, because I shifted my whole mindset. Like, I didn't think that I had what it took to be one of those superstar directors. And then I realized like I did. And so do you. So if your business does not look like what you want it to look like right now, you can change that right now. It doesn't matter if it's not going in the direction that you want it to go in, or you're not hitting your goals or whatever it is. Like, you can change that right now. It's literally a decision in your head that says, I am going to do this. And then follow it with hard work. There is no substitution for the hard work. There's no substitution for the consistency and all the things that I know you hear from your leader, but don't let where you're coming from or where you came from steer where you're going, because if it's not where you want to be, you can totally change that. I am proof of that. I quit. I was going to quit. I sold everything that I had, and now I'm very successful and I love my job so much. Like, I almost feel like I'm cheating the system because I feel like it's a hobby that makes me money, you know? So I just wanted to tell you that don't compare yourself right now or don't compare yourself to somebody where they're at right now. You never know what they went through. And that's just in life in general. Like, it might look like picture perfect if you look at my Instagram or my Facebook, although I do try to be real so people can relate to me, but I wasn't always a rock star at my business. It just takes highs and lows, and that's just part of life. And so if you're not happy with where you are right now, you can change that tonight. So I wanted to talk to you about social media. Okay. So,
hey, Stace, before you do,
yeah.
I just want to interrupt you and say what you just said goes so perfectly with your quote from Instagram, your most recent one.
It does. It's so true.
Know that you can start late, look different, be uncertain, start over, and still succeed.
It's so
awesome.
True.
It's so true. Talk to us about. I had to interrupt you because I'm like, she's totally like that right there. That is just another. It's just another way. Like, you are so authentically yourself. The things that you are talking about and training about are the same things that you are telling your social media audience. You know, like, you are who you are. Love me, hate me, whatever. But that's on you, you know, like you rock. Okay. Tell us about social media.
Okay. So first of all, like, I think that a big part of growing a social media platform is truly loving who you are. And I feel like that's a really hard step. And it seriously has taken me like 35 years to fully embrace who I am and be okay with not everybody loving me. Like, not everybody is going to love you, but you don't love everybody, right? So it's okay if not everybody loves you. We have to be okay with that. That was a huge struggle for me for a long time. And it was hard for me to grow my social media because I cared too much about what everybody thought instead of zeroing, and I can't talk, on my people. I was too worried about pleasing everybody. You will never ever be able to please everybody on social anywhere, but definitely not on social media. You have to find your people on social media. So this is how you do it. First of all, Facebook is cool, and I use Facebook for my VIP group, and it's kind of like a scrapbook to me. Like, I post just a lot of stuff on Facebook, but I'm not like super careful about what I post on Facebook. It's just kind of like I throw things up there. If my kid's sick that day, I might say something about that, or a random thing on my mind, I'll say that. But Instagram, I feel like I'm more careful with. I plan more about what I'm going to post on Instagram, because Instagram is so much better than Facebook, and I'm going to tell you why. So for one, Facebook stops you at 5,000 people. You cannot have more than 5,000 friends on Facebook. Instagram, you can have unlimited. There is no cap on the amount of people that can follow you on Instagram. On Facebook, you have to like friend somebody to where you see their stuff too. And on Instagram, they can just follow you. Facebook, they can too. But it has to be like, your page has to be, or those, they can only see the public post or whatever. Instagram is amazing because of the hashtags. Once you get to know how to use hashtags, you are unstoppable. And this is how I've been connecting with so many people. Millennials, which is like our next up and coming like downline, they're not Facebooking. They don't like it. They haven't grown up Facebooking. They think Facebook is for boomers, as my kids say. Like, they don't like Facebook. They like Instagram and Snapchat and TikTok. So you have to think about where your target audience is. You know, the people that are coming up in college and graduating college, they're on Instagram, but that's who we want to sponsor. That's who we want on our team, because they are the ones looking for income. They are the ones that are really good with social media and really good with like techie things. Like, we want those people on our team. So we have to go where they are, and we have to be willing to learn the things that we might not always have known. So the first things I'm going to tell you about Instagram not to do, because I did, and I watched my Instagram following like be completely level. Do not post graphics on your tiles. Do not post graphics. Nobody wants to follow somebody that posts Scentsy graphics. It's just, everybody's selling something and nobody wants to see that. We don't reuse hashtags on Instagram. We have to post new hashtags that relate to the actual photo that you're posting, not just about your account. So if I post a picture of my Christmas tree, I will hashtag things about Christmas and farmhouse and the holidays and all the things. I will not hashtag girl boss or women who inspire women. You have to have them relate to the actual photo. Let's see here. Don't use auto poster apps. Now, I used to do this with my Facebook a lot, and then they got rid of it, but they have like, oh my gosh, it's been so long now, but it was like Hootsuite, I think was one of them, like one of those that will just post at separate times that you like schedule them. Instagram does not like that. So don't do those. And let's see. I think that's about it. Okay. So what we want to do, because our goal is to meet new people with the same interests as us. We want to find more of our people that like us for who we are, have same common interests, because that's the easiest way to grow your team, is whenever you sponsor your friends and family. And this is just a way to find more, because 2020, I think we can all agree, has been so crazy, and it's harder to get out and to meet new people face to face. So we have to do it through social media. Now, you don't have to run your business through social media. I know there's people out there that hate social media, and that's fine, but this is just different ways that I found that really work. So being consistent on Instagram is super important. Using Reels, which is like TikTok on Instagram. Instagram loves it. So if you're posting Reels and just being yourself, like Reels are like TikTok videos, but just being yourself on social media just attracts people to you. It's okay to be vulnerable on social media. It's okay to show the real you. But like Melissa said, there's a very fine line of, because you are a business owner, you know, like, and with emotions as high as they are right now, they're so high about so many topics. You just have to be really careful, because I find myself like watching other businesses post and I'm like, you know, maybe I don't really want to buy from them, you know, so I don't ever want to make somebody feel like that about me. So I'm very careful about what I say and what I post about, you know, hot button topics like that. But showing who you are and finding people that have a specific interest as you. So if you like gardening, post in your tiles on Instagram about gardening and use your hashtags. And because you can click on a hashtag, I'm sure most of you know that, and all the pictures will pop up with like the same hashtag as you. And people, you can follow hashtags, you can get to know people through hashtags like that. So it's just all about finding people that are like you and fully embracing who you are on social media and being positive. That's a big one. And Melissa said that earlier, like being somebody that captures somebody else's attention by just being happy. It's so easy to just be happy on social media because there's so much negativity. It's like when somebody's happy and positive on social media, it's like a beacon of light. Seriously, it's like a light above you. It's like, whoa, like they're happy. Like I want to see what they're doing in their life to be happy. So I use my tiles on Instagram to show pictures of my life. Like I try to keep it like pretty. And then I use my stories on Instagram to show people who I really am. Now, I don't post a lot in my tiles on Instagram about Scentsy, but I do post a lot about it in my stories. So use your stories to show what you're doing through the day. If you change your wax, show it on your story. I had a customer tell me not too long ago, she texted me and she was like, girl, you were changing out all your wax this morning and it made me want to change out my wax and I realized I was low. So can you drop a 6-pack off to me today? Because she just saw what I was doing that day and it inspired her to go change her wax. Stories are so important. That's the first thing that I click on when I get on Instagram. I don't know about everybody else, but I click on stories. I love to see people being real and vulnerable. You can see their entire house. Like if you take a picture, you always make sure like the background's clean and, or you post a video and like it's quiet, but on stories, it's just kind of like, whatever, it's only there for 24 hours. If my kid's screaming in the background for a second, it's like, whatever, like it's only there for 24 hours. It doesn't have to be perfect. So people get to know you. And like Melissa said earlier, it's like an auditorium. You are on stage when it comes to your social media. You have a free stage where you can show people who you are and why they need Scentsy and why they should join your team without you ever have to even you don't even know half the time who's watching you. I mean, I don't go through and look at every single person that watches my stories, but you have this huge stage to show your followers how Scentsy has blessed your life and how amazing the opportunity it is. And it plants seeds in their mind when you're talking about how you love Scentsy, or where you're changing your wax and talking about how happy the scents make you, or you're on your free vacation that you earned. You have this huge stage to just show thousands and thousands of people why they need Scentsy. And you don't even have to do, it's like one shot. You do it one time and all these people see it. So if you're intentful with your social media post, and you're intentful with growing your following. There's so many accounts that you can follow on Instagram with tips that you can do, things to do and don't do. There's YouTube channel or videos like crazy, podcasts. I highly suggest watching podcasts or listening to podcasts, because I've learned so much about social media through different podcasts. And it doesn't have to be Scentsy people that you're listening to. There are people in other direct sales companies, or there's just motivational people out there that will teach you how to be a boss at social media. I feel like my businesses ran probably 99% on social media. It has been something that has just come natural to me, and it's just a really good, easy way for me to relate to people. We were camping, a couple weekends ago, the weekend before Halloween, and I was driving around our golf cart, and the twins were on the back hopping off and running up to different campers getting candy. And this lady walks up to the side of my camper, and she's like, "You're going to think I'm really creepy." And I was like, "Yeah." And she was like, I'm your friend on Facebook, and I feel like I know you, and I know Lincoln and Lyric and your whole family. Like, I bought Scentsy from you one time, and I just feel like I know your whole family." And that's truly what social media is for. Like, you want people to feel like they know you, because that's when they trust you. And when they trust you, there's a relationship that starts to build there, whether it's one-sided or not, because I didn't know who she was, but she knew me, so she trusts me. You build that relationship because they just get to know you, they get to know what you like. So then when you're like, this product is amazing, like it makes my whole house smell amazing, or you're like, this opportunity has changed my life, they know that you're being honest, that they know that you're telling the truth about things. I also have a YouTube channel that I started, it wasn't even that long ago. I guess a little over 6 months ago. And I just post my training videos on there, or if I unbox something. And I have gotten probably 10 recruits since I started YouTube, because people watch me, they hear my voice, they see my face, and then they reach out to me and they want to join just from seeing me on social media. Like, they're not even, some of them are from like California, and I live in Illinois. Like, it's just because that's how people relate to each other now. That's how people get to know each other now. And it's just the way of the world. So I feel like the more you can put yourself out there, the more you can start building relationships with people on social media. It just broadens your network. You just get to know more people. You become friends with people. You start interacting, and it just grows and grows and grows. And these people watch you for months and years, and you never know. Like, somebody might be like, maybe I want this opportunity, or they're struggling, they come to a point in their life where they're struggling where they weren't before, and since you can fix that problem, and they're going to remember you. So using social media is just a really good way to add to your business. And when you're consistent and you use it in a strategic way, it can really, really change everything about your business. I also do Pinterest. Pinterest is another way that I've recruited a lot of people. I just post like Scentsy pictures, like real life pictures. And then I do post some things of my family, like costumes, like Halloween costumes or decor in my house. And I've had people message me on Pinterest and join my team. So it's just really about finding what platforms work for you. You don't have to do all of them if it overwhelms you. Pick one and work on it and get better at it and see what it does for your business. If you don't like it or it doesn't work out, then try a new one, or try two, or whatever you want to do, whatever works for you. If social media is your thing, I feel like I get paid to be on social media. Like, when I sit down at my desk, I do social media so much, but that's what makes me money. That's how I meet new people. So don't be afraid to really dive into social media and try to get better at it. It's not just, I feel like sometimes it has a bad stigma. Like, people are like, oh, social media, it's such a time sucker, and it's such a waste of time, but it's not always if you're intentful about it. just don't scroll for hours. Like, get on and do what you need to do and be consistent with all of the platforms that you're using, and then get off and do some income producing activities at your desk also. So if you have any questions, let me know. Or Melissa, you can chime in. I'm on my phone because for some reason I couldn't get my Mac to hook up to Zoom. So if there's some, let me know.
Is there anything that anybody wants to ask Stacy?
Hey, Stacy, this is Annette. I have been listening to you since SFR, when I drove to Michigan to catch up with Melissa and that. And we listened to all your trainings, and I listened to one when I went to bed last night, but I listened to your one today about Instagram and how you said that it's depressing to be on Facebook. By following some of the things you shared and making those changes in my business, I've been consistent, and I made director last month. I just wanted to say thank you, because I feel like I know your family too. And I want you to come and decorate my house.
That makes me so happy. Like, seriously, like, whenever I try to share as much as I possibly can, because I mean, and nothing against my upline, because when I joined Scentsy, like, I feel like Scentsy was still kind of a baby itself, but I didn't have a leader that was sharing stuff like that with me. So I try to do as much as I can to help people out. And I know some people learn better from like, everybody learns in a different way, and every consultant's different. So sometimes, a person's leader might not be good at social media. So I just try to share as much information as I can in an easy way. So I try to upload as much as I can, but hearing stuff like that is why I share. I try to always keep my arrows out, and just, I tell my group this all the time, like, there's enough room at the top for us all to win. Like, bring everybody with you. You don't have to just bring your group or your downline. Like, there's enough room at the table for everybody. And there's something really magical about bringing people with you and rising the tide for all the boats, guys. It's good karma. I just feel like what goes around comes around. When you put good out into the world, good comes back to you. And actually, when I hit Superstar Director, I didn't say this before, but I started working my business a lot harder once I did accelerated leadership, a little bit harder. But then, like, I hit Star Director. I felt like it just kind of happened because I was being consistent. I was doing the right things. But I started this leadership program for my group, and I don't really know what changed in my heart, but I just decided to focus on everybody else in my group. Like, I wanted to help their dreams come true. And I started diving into their lives, like, truly caring about what they were going through and what goals they had for their lives and what their dreams were and all of these things. And I can still remember sitting on my couch in the living room, and I was running reports, and like, my mouth dropped open and my heart started racing. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, I might promote to Superstar Director this month. And I had no idea that I was that close, because I was so involved and worried about what everybody else was doing, and just truly trying to be a good leader and a good person. And when I feel like when you do that, like, you put so much good into other people, and you're pouring into people to help them, that it just has a way of coming back to you, and good things happen back to you in your life. So just hearing that my, you videos or you following me has helped you really makes me happy, because I mean, that's my ultimate goal. Like, I want everyone to be successful. This business it's so crazy that not everybody gets it. Like, I just feel like we're so lucky to have such an amazing job. It's so weird for me to even call it a job, even though it is, because it's so fun, right? Like, we get paid to, like, have fun. I don't know. So thank you for saying that. That really makes me happy.
And Stacy, I think the number one thing that I hear pushback on anytime that we talk about social media is people saying, but I'm not interesting. I don't have anything to post. I don't know what to post. I don't know how to attract people. Do you want to just feel that really quickly?
So I think that I don't know if it's an excuse, but that reason is because they are not fully confident in who they are as a person. there's something about them there's a lot about them that makes them special, because I mean, I don't know what everybody's, religious views are or anything, but the same God that made the stars and the moon did not make you for no reason. There's a reason why you were on this planet. There are people like you. You can connect to people, but you have to embrace who you are. I mean, what do you like to do? Everybody has something they like to do, right? Like everybody has a favorite color or a favorite vacation spot or family members or pets or whatever it is. Like there are people out there like you, but you have to be willing to embrace who you are first. For many, many, many years, I was embarrassed of the fact that one of my kids is like crawling around my desk. Go, McKenna. No, go. I was embarrassed of the fact that I'm a little rough around the edges. Like I cuss way too much, to be honest. I don't party anymore, but I used to. I'm too old now. I tried to drink a little bit on Saturday and I felt like crap for 2 days. But like I used to be embarrassed of things that I thought weren't socially acceptable or that some people might not like about me. And you have to just be okay with who you are, because there's people out there like you. And once you embrace that and you feel like you can share that, you're going to find your people. I don't care if you like to freaking knit. There are people out there that like to do that. Yes. You just have to be okay with saying that, Everybody's interesting.
And that's what we've talked a lot about, is diving in, like making a list of the things that you enjoy doing, that you think you're good at. It doesn't matter how silly. It could literally be, I think I am the best cat litter scooper there ever was.
Truth,
and I feel like I have 7 hacks. I don't even have a cat, so I don't know. Don't ask me where that came from. But or my friend Lisa Becker, who just got a guinea pig, and now she shares her office with a guinea pig, and now she's become this Mac Daddy guinea pig cage cleaner. Like I'm really sure connect with a ton of other guinea pig owners that love.
What's funny is that, okay, so my daughter just saved a video off of TikTok of these guinea pigs going to bed, and there's like a line of them and they're all like following into the cage, and it's playing like a cute song, like something about going to bed or whatever. But yes, like literally guinea pigs, like it doesn't matter. There's also people that have like, it doesn't, like people have pet squirrels, or like, I mean, it's whatever, scuba diving. I don't care. Like there are people out there that are interested in what you like. You are not the only one that likes whatever you like. There are people out there, and you can find them through hashtags and, TikTok and all the things. Like you can find them.
I look around, and there's a number of you on my screen right now where I can say at least one thing I know about you that you're good at, that you can share with the public. So not only are you a Scentsy consultant, but like Andrea, you went to barber school. I'm sure you've got hacks or tips or funny things that you can share, or things, like when we think, well, I'm boring, I don't have anything to share. But when you actually look at the things that you do on a daily basis that you think others would find not interesting, find a way to make it interesting for people. When I'm looking at Instagram accounts, when I choose to follow somebody is because I've gained something from being on their feed. They're telling me how to do something, how to hack something, giving me a tip, giving me a trick, giving me something I want to screenshot because I want to duplicate. They're giving me something. And I think that's one of the biggest things is you're not just passively posting. You want to give something. Right? Stacy, would you agree that it's all about like
it's giving creating value
so that people want to come and see what you're doing?
Because honestly, I don't feel like I'm very interesting. I mean, seriously, I'm not. I'm boring. I don't like to go out. I'm a homebody. I just have a lot of kids. Like I'm really not that interesting, but other people think I am. Just like if somebody's out there watching this video and you don't think you're interesting, You are. Other people are going to think that you're interesting. You just have to find a way to share what you do, and then you'll start to see. You'll see when people are interacting with a post. Like Melissa said, the goal is to create value in your post. You want people to interact with your post. You want people to save them. Instagram's biggest thing right now to bump your algorithm is to have your post bookmarked. So when I post quotes, that's why I post quotes, actually, because people save them to come back to them later. So when they save them, because I've created value, I've put something out there that people want to see and read and be reminded of, Instagram recognizes that and bumps me up in algorithms, and I get more views. So my most recent post, I have a post that actually went viral on Instagram on Sunday. I was decorating for Christmas. My daughter did our letterboard and put a quote about the Grinch on there, and it has thousands of hearts on it right now. And you can click view insights if you are a creator on Instagram, which is just a setting. You go to creator and you can see your insights on Instagram. So you can see how many people have saved, shared, all of those things. But so many people are sharing that post or saving that post because they want to come back to it for a reason, whether it's to do their letterboard like that. So whenever you put something out there, like you find a deal on Amazon, or you find a product on Amazon. If you look at my stories today or my Facebook today, I found this outlet cover. I mean, like, it's a freaking outlet cover. Like, that is not interesting, but it's a hack. Like, it's a big deal because it took my messy cord outlet, and it's called a sleek socket. That's what it's called, sleek socket. And it's flat and it looks really pretty. And it has one cord that comes down and goes over to an extension cord that you can hide. That got so many likes and reactions on Facebook and on Instagram because it created value. People want to find things like that. They want to shop. They want to know what makes your life better. And they want something that just changes their life. They don't want to see Scentsy graphics, guys. Like, they don't want to see pictures of every single bar that we have in stock. They don't want to see, people selling things all the time. They want to see your life, and they want to see things that make their life better. And everybody has that. And they have something about them to offer. Everybody has something to offer. Just embrace it. Embrace who you are. You might have a good book that you read, like, people are going to want to screenshot that or save it, a recipe. Recipes are huge. I mean, and almost everybody cooks. Like, we all have to eat, right? Or even eating out. If you find a good place that you like share those things that you come across in your daily life that make your day better, because there's other people out there that are going to want that information too.
I love it. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. And you guys, I think you've seen a common thread and trend. We've been talking a lot about Instagram lately. And I know some of you, thank you for sticking with us. If you are not a social media, if that's not something that you're interested in, but I appreciate you sticking with us. You can see there's value. There's value in learning something new, in trying something different with your business. And I think that the pandemic and COVID and I think it's kind of helped us realize that I've realized it needs to be a part of my business because I'm not out touching as many people as I was.
Melissa, I've seen you really change. I mean, you weren't a social media person at all. No. And I've watched your Instagram game step up. I've watched you, and I'm trying. It's not comfortable to learn something new, but you're doing it.
And you know what? It isn't even learning something new. For me, it is, I run like a hamster on a wheel all day long, right? I squirrel all over the place. So my problem has always been stopping to take a minute to take a photo to create the post. Now, this is where Jill McCarthy and anybody else will say, take the pictures and do the post later. You know what happens? I get backlogged on my take the picture and post later, and I forget all about it. So if I don't stop and do it now, well, then the problem is I find that I'm trying to get accustomed to like bringing people into my everyday, but at what cost? At the cost that I'm going to spend the next 30 minutes now working on this post to get it up, you know? And so it's not that I'm not, for me, it's hard to incorporate it and make it a habit, but I'm trying. I appreciate you saying that you've noticed, because
yes,
I'm trying. I'm trying really hard. Well, that's because I won't let you forget me, because I'm all up in your face every single day. Because I am always, I'm like, okay, can I get a stamp of approval from Stacy? Can I get a stamp of, I'm like, okay, but you know
trying. What, that reminds me. So you started, commenting on my stuff. This is another thing. Interact with people that you want to see your stuff, whether that's on Facebook or Instagram or whatever. That platform will recognize the fact that person, or that you're interacting with them, and they'll start showing them your stuff. They think that you want to be friends because you're talking to them. So Melissa started commenting on a few things of mine, and now she comes up at the top of all of my stuff because she's interacting with my posts. I started interacting with her, and now we're seeing each other's stuff. Now, if there's somebody I really want to join my team, I'm going to interact with their stuff all the time so that they see everything that I post. Social media platforms are very, very smart, and that's all you have to do. Interact with the people you want to see your stuff too.
Yeah.
But you are rocking it. You're doing a good job.
Oh, that means a lot. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm going to call it. If you guys have any questions for Stacy, send them to me and I can get you answers. Or, Jackie, you did have your hand up just a little bit ago.
I did. I don't really have a question, Stacy, but I found you on YouTube a few months ago. I don't know if you can see me. I also have a YouTube channel and try to get out there, but I have, like, not in a creepy way, but like the biggest crush on you. And I told Melissa in our leadership group, I said, I really want to get to know her and I want to be like her and Melissa. Those are my two people. But I'm like Walmart and you're like, Nordstrom's.
You think that, but I promise you, I'm more like Walmart. Okay. Like, my life looks like it's so put together, but it's not. I promise. It's a chaotic mess behind the scenes.
But I just want to say though, I appreciate, sorry. Now that's real life right there. I appreciate you putting it out there that it's okay for us to be us because everybody else is taken. I get that. And I just want to say, like, when I watch you on social media and I watch you on Facebook, because you friended me, I was so excited. And I was like, because it's important to know that we have people that we can look up to, and model our business after. So I just wanted to say that. Sure. I want you to know who Jackie McManus is, and that's all.
Well, I'm so glad that you said something, because now I definitely will. I feel bad because so many people, because I work social media so hard and I put so much out there, I get a lot of people to add me, and I feel bad that I can't answer everybody's questions, or somebody will message me and ask me something and I can't get back to them because I do have a lot of kids, and I do Scentsy so that I can have the freedom. So don't ever feel like I'm ignoring you on purpose or anything like that. So I'm glad that I know who you are now.
And I'll meet you in Disney.
I'll be in Colorado. I'm not.
Oh, that's right. Kids. You are doing that trip. Okay.
Yeah. But have fun in Disney. I'm a huge Disney fan, but we will not be there.
Well, Stacy, thank you so much. We appreciate you. You guys, thanks for spending time with us tonight. And go out there and do good things. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Stacy.
Bye.